At this time, I'd like to introduce Harvey Waugh, the Grand Master of the Massachusetts Lodge of Masons. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, Secretary Galvin, honored members of the legislature, my brother Masons and citizens all. I am honored to speak here today on behalf of our 29,000 Massachusetts Freemasons. Over 1,300 Masons are present to witness this glorious ceremony. I also thank all citizens of this great Commonwealth for attending these proceedings. Today, we are living history. On July 4, 1795, 220 years ago, the Governor of Massachusetts, Samuel Adams, requested the Grand Master of Masons in Massachusetts, Most Worshipful Paul Revere, to consecrate the construction of a state house and perform an appropriate ceremony. It is humbling to stand here in the midst of our Governor, Secretary of the Commonwealth, members of the legislature, reverend clergy, and Grand Lodge officers, and engage in a truly worthwhile event, the redeposit of the State House time capsule. The ceremony you are about to witness is filled with symbolism and significance. Since ancient times, the laying of a public building's cornerstone has been celebrated. The Freemasons of today carry on the traditions and rituals of the operative Masons who laid the cornerstones of the cathedrals and castles of Europe. Our traditions and values are an important part of the cornerstone that civilized society is built upon. When a man is made a Mason, he is initially placed in the northeast corner of a lodge room. This location is the threshold between north, a place of perpetual darkness, and the east, a place of light. This threshold between darkness and light serves as a midpoint between ignorance and wisdom, barbarity and civilization, and it represents the beginnings of that journey from east to west in pursuit of more light, more knowledge, and more liberty. It is for these reasons that a building's cornerstone is also ideally placed in the northeast corner. As Freemasons, we have a proud history of performing cornerstone ceremonies. This ceremony is identical to the one Paul Revere performed here in 1795, and it is an integral part of our national history. An honored Mason in Virginia, George Washington, performed the cornerstone ceremony at the United States Capitol in 1793. The Grand Lodge of Washington, D.C. performed it at the Smithsonian in 1847, and the Washington Monument in 1848. Here in Massachusetts, Masons have laid cornerstones not only for this State House, but also for the Massachusetts General Hospital, the Bunker Hill Monument in Charlestown, the Forefathers Monument in Plymouth, and several town halls, churches, libraries, and public schools statewide. This is not an accident. Just as the true history of these United States has the history of this Commonwealth at its foundation, the history of the Commonwealth has that of Freemasonry embedded in its core. The ceremony I will lead shortly will rededicate this building with corn, wine, and oil. We use these items symbolically. The corn is poured as an emblem of nourishment, the wine as an emblem of refreshment, and the oil as an emblem of joy and happiness. They show us that our prosperity as a society is dependent on the success of this structure as it is on the happiness, pleasure, and peace these items give us regularly. Many past and present legislators and executives have been and are Freemasons today. It is partly through their efforts that our cities and towns have found prosperity over the years. The pomp and circumstance you see here today represents not only the significant contributions of those who came before us, but the wish for continued prosperity under the guidance and wisdom of today's capsule is similar happy circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here on this wonderful day.
Thank you, Grandmaster Waugh.